Hello, this is Dan, the founder of On2Air, and I'm very excited to showcase with you the latest version of On2Air Amplify. Very excited for this release. Lots of new features that I'm going to walk through with you. And the biggest change that we made is you can now create these blocks and lay them out in any format that you want. So if you've used the product in the past, instead of scrolling left and right and just having one block per column, you can now do columns on top of each other. You can drag these around and place them wherever you want to place them, and you can get them to display in the grid format that you want. The second big change is our change with the navigation menu. So we've simplified the navigation. You still have the ability to move through records, look up records, and you can still modify the records. Those are in this menu, so clicking on that option will bring up the ability to delete, expand, copy, and create new ones. We also have shortcodes to get to the Manage Layout screen and the ability to add a new block. So by adding a new block, we have a new UI for viewing the blocks, and we also have some new blocks that we're introducing. We have an upgrade to the Markdown editors that is a much better editor experience for Markdown. We also have a new text editor for just plain text editing. And we have some enhancements to some of the other existing blocks as well. The other feature that you will be excited about is permissions. So we now have the ability to manage permissions at the layout level. So if you go into the Manage Layouts, you can specify who can see this layout, who can create new records on this layout, who can edit records on this layout, and who can delete records. And these can be individual users, or they can be specific to a role, or you can disallow and exclude users and allow all other users. So very flexible in how you set up permissions. The other great permission feature is the ability to filter records. If you go into the global settings, and we now have a filtered records where for every table in your base, you can specify a field that must meet certain criteria for a user to be able to see records. If you select a collaborator field, then you can specify it to that it must require the current logged in user assigned to that record in order to see it, or you can specify any other type of field and specify different users that the value that it must be for this user to see it. So very advanced. You can also have a catch-all for all non-defined users that must meet that criteria for it to see. So now you can specify records that only certain users will see. That means that if they are scrolling through or searching, they will only see the records that meet their criteria configured. So very powerful permission control, lots of new features that you can go through the tutorials and see all the new functionality available. We're excited to see how you use this. Feel free to provide feedback, and we're excited to get this in your hands.